Welcome, and thank you for joining us for this virtual artist talk featuring printmaker Yuji Hiratsuka. My name is Emily Johnsen, and I'm the gallery manager at the William Paterson University Galleries. Today, Yuji will present his graphic work, including the print Beat Meets Meat, which is part of the William Paterson University Permanent Collection. We will begin today's event with a brief introduction of the artist. He will then present on his work for approximately 30 minutes, and will then answer some prepared questions. If you would like to ask the artist a question during the course of the presentation, please feel free to type your question into the Q&A box. This program is being recorded and will be available to view on the gallery's website in the near future. I would like to thank all those who made this event possible. We are, of course, grateful to Yuji Hiratsuka for preparing this insightful presentation. This event was realized with the support of the staff of the Center for Diversity and Inclusion, Campus Life and Student Leadership, and the University Galleries, in conjunction with the university's Asian Cultural Celebration. We'd also like to thank our graduate assistant, Taylor Cassisi, for developing the content of this program. Now I'll introduce our speaker. Yuji Hiratsuka was born in Osaka, Japan. He has a BS in art education from Tokyo Gakuei University and degrees in printmaking from New Mexico State University and Indiana University. He currently is a professor of printmaking at Oregon State University. Hiratsuka has received numerous international awards. Since 2010, he has had 13 solo shows in the United States, as well as in Korea, Canada, Northern Ireland, and Russia. Hiratsuka's artwork is included in the public collections of the British Museum, Tokyo Central Museum, Państwowe Museum in Poland, the House of Humor and Satire in Bulgaria, the Cincinnati Art Museum, the Cleveland Art Museum, Portland Art Museum, the New York Public Library, the Library of Congress, and the Smithsonian's Museum of Asian Art. At this point, I'd like to turn it over to Yuji. I stopped sharing my screen. And we will go ahead and take it away, Yuji.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Do you see the screen now?
Yes, you can do the presentation view.
Okay. Here we go. Well, anyway, first of all, I'd like to really thank you to the gallery staff member, Emily, and then Christine, and then also staff tech people. I guess, made me very easy to, present today. And I like to show like 100 slides, and the 30 minutes means rather somewhat quick. So, you can go back if you have any questions. I do my best. The slide you see today start from here. This is only once I did it in Japan. So more like 35 years to 40 years ago. So I was already doing the kind of like similar style, what I'm currently doing. So in a sense, not developed or they are staying the same, but I do some other subject matter. So, but anyway, so this was done in Japan, maybe early 80s or so. Okay. I like to speak about the, two part mainly, one is, like more like, content or the image background, and then where I got inspired, or, what is the inspiration, or, how, what is the influence kind of things. And then also a little bit about how to do, like color printing, my particular style, intaglio printmaking, to the general people, not just printmaker. I know there are some people who have no idea if I start going the details about how to do so, and also we don't have a time. Anyway, so see from here, moved to US, 85. First, I moved to New Mexico State University. As introductions, I graduated with an undergraduate degree in Tokyo, school in Tokyo, and I moved back to my hometown, Osaka. And I was teaching a middle school, high school for 7-8 years, and I burned out. I really wanted, printmaking or the art rather than, like the good school teacher. So I was kind of cheating, trying to be a good teacher, but my dilemma was, I want to make art rather than spending, like the school task. So, so I decided to quit and then decided to enroll the graduate program in the United States. And then luckily I got accepted to the scholarship, so that's how I ended up coming here. By the way, this is the 90s, 1990s or so. So myself, still I see same, like my hair lost. I don't use my see, my hat or, my just screens. But my glasses and my polo shirts, still I wear exactly the same. So not much different, Painting versions, works on paper I do was occasionally. And then this one is more like a, ninja style, So now I start seeing the, what is the, my influence. Of course, the me, still I feel, like myself, like, heavily Japanese background, inherited. And so I use the many aspects of, like a culture from there. So that's a little bit, like a figures, of course, about a ninja. I hope many of you know, like what a ninja means, Okay. All right. So anyway, also, a little bit technical information, I don't want to go too much, but at that time, like this is also 90s, I didn't have access to the huge, big press machine, etching press. This size is, like 36 tall and then 48 wide. But the press I was able to use was the 24-inch wide and then 36-inch length. So I combined, put together here, you can see the little bit seam, two prints made one. This kind of technical challenge is always interesting, anyway. Okay, so this one is the later on, I guess, the, maybe 10 years after that or so, like early 2000 or so, maybe, more like, I like to, often repeat the same figures here, like 3 figures, 1, 2, 3, and a little bit, arms a little bit in different gestures they're doing, and then a little bit mouth, has a different kind of like a shape, so, like a, this one is a little bit, I would say, like a kokeshi, Japanese wooden, doll kind of things, they are, if you say K-O-S-H-I, K-O, koke, K-O-K-E-S-H-I, just traditional to, toys, also, inspired. I like figures, actions also moving, not standing still, like, so this one is, 2 figures. It's a large print, 36 by 48. Okay. Movement. I just give the also, like printmaking tend to get, a little bit, like a tight, rigid, so loose, like the painterly aspect, like a little bit spontaneity I'm giving. Okay. Small prints, and usually 9 by 12, I like it, so that I put it, like the figures, okay. Cartoonish, yes, that's true. That's also my influence also. Ukiyo-e prints, they are Japanese woodblock. Those are also the my influence. Occasionally, in the subject matter-wise, I don't do the figure, but still implies a little bit figure, like, the, you can see the boots, brown boots, on the ground, or the skirt, or a little bit, implies the hands showing up, kind of like an invisible man kind of stuff. I like a fauna, what they call, like a birds, flowers, kind of things. Usually I do the frontal face or the figure, but this one is unusual, back, showing the heads or the shoulder kind of stuff. Okay. I used to do, now I don't do much, but, like it means last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, like recent prints. But, prior to that, I use a lot of pink on the background shade, like a dark to light, atmospheric, effect or so, okay. I like also lots of details, clothing, there are patterns, there are some are, like they are my own patterns. design, or some are, copied from the texture. Some are Japanese traditional design things, These are a lot of table pictures. This basically, like the top right, you see that the printmaker, that's myself, HPIC, it's the head printmaker in charge or something. This title is time, related, the TB. I abbreviated, TB is the title. And then everything you see here is the time, like ice cream, if you don't spend too much, or I spend too much, you get melted, and the time on their left top, like seasons. By the way, back to my picture, it's a Time magazine. You can see the very tip, cut off the intentionally, the writing, and then Time Pizza. It's not the TIME, but what do you call that spell? THYME or something, that can just playing those, words also, I do. I like Japanese food here. Always, street food, let's say summer, tempura, udon, shrimp, tempura on the left, and then that's the seafood, like a rice bowl, kind of like a expensive ones, when you have a payday, we eat that, we call kaisen don, kaisen means, like a fresh fish, means, all kind of like a sushi, tuna, or, like a, what do you call, raw fish, put on, or not everything, but, on the top, and green tea kind of things, right? I like a little bit also, counterculture in Japanese, or, maybe, it's already fashion, like a cosplay, like, I don't know how many of you are familiar with that, just the people, play, acting like an anime character kind of stuff, little bit, so this one also they are late, anyway, also has a stories, they are, these girls, like they are server, like bring a burger, and then this looks like a guy, trying to entice with the flowers and the gift kind of things, just adding some haircut, unrelated. Kawaii headgear, like the animal headgear kind of stuff she's wearing. Here comes the your collections, and then some ask, like, what is this, like depth in the meaning was so, the, let's say content of the story behind. Basically, first of all, like figures were inspired by like Egyptian, like a relief, they are, many thousand years ago, or some has a painting, but painting doesn't stay too long, for that time-wise, Anyways, a figure, repetitive figure, like a two pairs. Beat meets meat. It just apparently, playing with the words, phonetically rhymes, But other than that, like the picture tells, everything we eat kind of stuff. Veggie and the meat, most of like kind of things. And then I like mushrooms, so I put in the bottom. The pills, that goes to the mouth, like I don't think eat, but, take it, but, go to the system. So that's how I put it. Designs in the background, decorative aspect, some flowers, like, I try to make it, like why, Portland, we have in a beautiful Oregon is a rose city. So why not? You just put the rose, kind of stuff. Barbed wires. Sometimes I get inspired from the tattoo designs, and then tattoo design also use a barbed wire kind of design. So I got inspired from that aspect, chicken drums, radish kind of things, and meat loaf kind of stuff, So it's all mixture about the food kind of stuff, Also, this one is the very symmetric, intentionally I made a pair, which you don't have, but so that's the you know, related to the food again, the meatball and then the plant, okay. You know, just the irony about the vegans or vegetarians, you know, but these plants I'm showing here is the meat eater plant. I don't know what you call, you know, you guys know, you know, like in English, you know, this goes the insect, you know, proteins, you know, and then this, you know, shots, you know, when the insect lands, you know, anyway. So, you know, people, oh, I eat plant, but some plants eat meat. So that's kind of a contradict or some kind of just I'm trying to explain or, you know, playing with that ideas. These two, I know like they are, you know, I printed this one and this one on very thin Japanese paper, almost translucent, you know, so that's the kind of ideas, you know. So it's showing, you know, like the image from the back, and this is the one side, you know, I photograph it, and then others, just playing like experimenting things, you know. Okay, speed up. These are my style, you know, you see that, you know, like a Japanese or Asian radish, you know. So anyway, you know, persimmon also kind of like a Japanese or Asian, East Asian kind of like particular fruits, you know, kind of things. Again, the rose here, barbed wire, okay, mushroom, you know. So again, the figure with a plant or the cactus, and then I don't know what kind, you know, succulent, whatever, you know, like the plant here. Kind of my favorite things, you know. This one is a little different. They are more like a research-based, you know, like what I enjoyed, you know, like this is the creatures, you know, life before the dinosaur, you know, like a million years. When that Earth started, you know, like life, you know, those things came first, you know. So that's the ideas about. Only the right now existing is the ginkgo tree, you know, that lives. Many survived, you know, for a long time. Well, ferns maybe, you know, like those are the ones, you know, but these plants dead, or some coral maybe still alive. So maybe still many, you know, images here still, you know, alive, but, you know, came long time ago. By the way, her skirt is represent like a shell, you know, kind of things. Kind of insect, you know, the tattoo. So has a little bit, you know, all relate, you know, like those stories about Earth, you know, lives. I like to a little bit about, you know, like versions, you know, they are, so this one is Snow White, and then my interest was the inspirations. And this one is Velázquez, you know, they are the Spanish coat painter, like a 15th, 16th century, you know, like Las Niñas or something, you know, called, you know, little girls, you know, the painting, you know, dressed up, inspired. Pictures are Japanese or the Asian, kind of like Peonese kind of things, you know, image, of course. This is the ones I'm going to show, the little version I make, you know. I don't know, you notice it, but slightly different, you know. This obvious color different, you know. Okay, so now you see the two different prints. They were the same prints, but the background I switched, you know. So now I'm talking about a little bit variation, you know, the style difference, how I do this, you know. Okay. This like, you know, last 5 years or so, you know, like wings, you know, I like wings, you know, like you see the wings here, you know, this Egyptian Isis, you know, the angel, you know. Anyway, so that's I've been doing, you know, this series, you know, drawing, works on paper. See, you saw that. Okay. Watermelon shortcake I just made up, you know, lots of wings related. Okay. Bottom, you can see it while you sit, you know, the chicken wings, you know. Again, little wings, it's insect now. Okay. Kimono derived design, Japanese, you know, traditional, you know, clothing for male or female, you know, and it has a lot of birds image here, right? Tsuru, the crane on the fan, and this is the feather. So these are kind of wings, you know, all, you know, related. Again, here the wings, Egyptian Isis, you know, angel, you know, so that's the ideas about, you know, this picture. Feathers again, all right? You can see the wings, and then my favorite plant. So you see that bugs, flies, like I got into trouble, right? Okay. Tiny wings here. These are most like a couple of years ago, most recent mushrooms. Okay. By the way, these are all, like I like, like you've been seeing the, unusual kind of like a size, 36 by 24 etching, color etching. And many, they don't do that size, but I like a scale also important for me to talk about. I can do a lot of things with this scale. I don't like to work on the tiny 4 by 6, like even like 18 by 24. If I have options, I'm free. I make a 36-inch by 24-inch big ones. But for the gallery's sake, or the, for other fact, I make a smaller, like a portfolio project, group project. They have a size limitations, okay, I follow that kind of thing. So there's some galleries, we need just smaller prints. Okay, I can do that. Anyway, same prints, the size, big ones. Okay. As you see, kimono or the mixture of the East and West, they are, Western crown tiara, and then Japanese hair ornament, we call kanzashi, by the way, little wings here, playing card, you can see it, okay. These are just how I do the drawing to the other prints, so these are prints completed. Another cute girls, kawaii, by the way, so they are, this one is the, these girls are posing, and then see here the cell phone camera, aimed to the this side, but actually this person not taking these two girls, but taking you can see the plant, like behind this, kind of like teasing, okay. Drawing, that's how I start. On cheap paper, then transfer to the plate. You can see left and right, drawing again the versus the prints. Okay. These are versions I make, they are this colored portion stays the same, but I change background. So I do, like not traditional prints, I just play with the image, and this one the same, subject matter very Japanese, they are in a sense the Japanese bob hair girl, little girl, and they has a wing. Okay, the insect, butterfly wings, and then crane, they are doing jump ropes. You see that, okay. And it's stuck maybe. Okay, now, okay, so this one and this one, you can see the background switched, right? So that kind of recently I'm doing, okay. Sorry, going back here. Different background. I want to see the discolored print, color prints. I use this black and white version to this recent. These are last year, like a prints. The background is, you just saw the color prints, so I used it, right? These are small prints, 9 by 12, okay. These are how I print. So black and white image. By the way, the registration mark system I create, I don't know my cursor, the things you can see here, here, like margins, So anyway, so that's the first, not starting with the color. I start with a key, black and white, black ink, black image. Now you see the yellow plate. Yellow and black. Red plate, red image. Yellow, black, yellow, red. That create a little bit nuances of, the secondary color, orange, or with a gray, has a nice other complex shade I'm creating. Okay. Blue, right? So these are the four color, CMYK prints. Now you see the green, and then orange and then purple, right? The green, the cactus has light green and the darker green. So of course, degree of more yellow or more blue makes those yellow, yellow green or green kind of things. Some straight blue in the background here, the red in the lips, kind of thing. So they are by printing those, I don't want to say process color because I just custom make process-ish color, etching ink. I can create the many shade, like a little bit concept of the commercial printing aspect. I've been last 4 or 5 years involved in a show in Russia. So just honoring their culture or their because they are hosting a lot. So I made a little bit of Russian theme a few years or so. So that this hat is from Russia also, These are Russian toy, matryoshka. And then some Russian, like the traditional toys, and the Japanese toy mixture, Firebird, tail, the wings, or the feather kind of things. Okay. Again, the Russian designs I did. I don't know exactly about the other. Little bit you see the Firebirds, and then also the bottom portion has the hokusai. Hokusai means the ukiyo-e artist, the waves, So anyway, I just mix, my culture and their culture, or our culture, or your culture kind of stuff, of course. Show poster, can read it, but this is a two-person show. This is this could be my name, Yuji Hiratsuka, kind of. Okay, Novosibirsk. Like 4 years ago, December or so, or here. No, 4 years. No, I'm sorry. 7, 8 years, a long time ago. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. We have a time. We all know. At least what is the biggest city in the New York, the U.S. New York, Los Angeles, Chicago. So we ask, what is the biggest city in the Russia or Moscow? What is the second? St. Petersburg. What the third one? No one could answer, many people. So this is the third biggest city, Novosibirsk. They have a subway system, everything, Novo means new, and Sibirsk means Siberia. So this is a new Siberia, okay? Town called Ekaterinburg, I forgot, so here they are. Ekaterinburg, or Y or the E, they do it in English. Okay.
Yuji, sorry to interrupt. I'm just giving you a time update. It's 2:30, so you have about 10 more minutes.
All right, good, perfect, Erarta Museum, this is St. Petersburg. I had a show 2 years ago, anyway. I was May, June, sun didn't go down. Only like 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock get dark, and then rest of the day, or, bright, so I have to shut the curtains, in order to sleep, because it's locating so north, I think, That's a show in the Erarta Museum, St. Petersburg. That's show inside, okay. Once again, where the idea coming from. So that's my prints. And then definitely this is the Japanese ukiyo-e prints. Of course, I don't copy as you see it, but get inspired, right? That's the ideas. This one is the my print. It says some S-U-E-Y, it's a chop suey, is a restaurant, Chinese restaurant ideas, a little bit in price. This one is inspired by Hopper, Edward Hopper, American painter, you guys, like early 20th century, I guess, Okay, so that's the paintings and got inspired. repetitive four figures, on the bed or so, has a more contemporary, has a remote or what do you call the, or a cell phone, I don't know, whatever, on her belly sections. This one is from this painting, Manet, Olympia. So, so that can sometimes, refers, inspired. This one is my prints. You see the pipe or the steam heater, pay attention to that. And this one is from Magritte. Okay, so that's the, when I saw this, I want to make something kind of stuff, so that's. From here, I make a little bit other things, one of kind, like collage, or the, background is just a decorative paper I pasted, or the mounted, my prints. Okay. This one is the more like, like the Zen aspect, like emptiness on the left side, right side of the figure, Japanese kimono woman, okay. I use that for the other project. So you see the face you can recognize, okay. Repeating two prints, mounted on one sheet of paper. Made another versions, right? Yin Yang, or the Asian zodiac kind of stuff, 12 animals. More versions I made, okay. This is the original prints, and I embellished with other things, framing, okay. Other versions also, right? This one is the one of a kind. This one is original. So I just playing with those, the possibilities. This is the original. I don't know you recognize it, but the body portions from the prints, and I make more like that. So this is a huge print, like not 4x8, but I don't know. 40 inch wide and then 60 inch tall kind of stuff, one of a kind. I do the woodblock. It's me, not me, but my relief printing, like that. I try to draw with cutting tools, not just following the other, exact drawing, more free. Drawing, works on paper, looks like a lot of feathers here. 40 by 30 inch kind of big sheet of paper. All right. Okay. Drawing, give me a little bit loose, spontaneity with the movement, with the charcoal. Okay. Erasing also I do. Okay. You saw that picture. Okay. Two prints combined, the plates, they are so made a one big print. And I added a color. These are another big ones, 36 by 60 inch wide or something. 52, yeah, I think. A little color, right? Fan, just play with that. Books, you saw that maybe in the show, right? I make some like, like a leftover copper plate, or made, there are some, it's not a functional, but it's a box, just a table top sculpture or object kind of stuff. Sorry for the color, blur, but okay, so that you see it, Okay, this could be it. Maybe I finished too early, so it's up to you guys. However you want to deal with the. I can show the my Instagram a little bit. Sure. Maybe.
Yeah, do you want to do that first, and we'll go into some of the questions?
Yeah, let's see. Time's limited, so Where is the? Hold on.
I'm really enjoying the presentation, Yuji.
Oh, thank you. Let's see. Okay. Here. Okay. I'm not sure, should I start, close the stop share, and then again, the screen share. Or do you see that my screen?
I can see it.
Okay, so you see that my screen. That's good. So I don't have. Anyway, so this is my kind of like a fun passions, you know. Last 4 or 5 years, my kind of exercise, you know, I post every single day something new image, but new image means old ones, you know. I repeat dig from my file or so, you know, and I make the one sometime, you know, like a combine or collage kind of things. Anyway, and then intentionally, I'm not showing any new prints you saw last 5 years, you know, like a prints, you know, or you saw some of the new image, like, you know, like 2, 3 years ago, you know, up to now. I'm not posting that here. These are the kind of old prints, but I reworked, and every day one prints. And I try to not, or I'm not doing the, you know, oh, today's my cute pet here, or, you know, like I had a friend, you know, going to the beach. I don't post that. I just solely my image. This one is unusual. I was asked to post, you know, but other than that, you know, like even like, you know, try to not post, you know, any other, you know, like announcement kind of things, you know, just my pictures, you know, that's how I deal with, you know, my Instagram account or the image or so, you know. Anyway, so that's, but going back again, here, some you can see some other things. It's me with my daughter's dog kind of stuff, you know. These are some newer, because I have no control, you know, some post and come to me, some shows from there. Anyway, so that's, you know, like you see it, you know, this is my Instagram name, or you can search with the Yuji Hiratsuka or the Hiratsui. So if you have a chance, just visit, you know, every day you see something new, you know. I update Oregon time about between 7 and 9. Okay, so you click that, and every day, that time, you see my new images. So that's all, I think.
Thank you so much.
So stop share down.
It.
All right.
I'll bring myself back to life here.
Okay.
Thank you. We have a lot of questions. People really enjoyed seeing your work. So I am going to ask audience questions before getting to a few of our own.
Sure.
I think for starters, people are interested in the content of your imagery. So different symbolism, that kind of thing.
Right.
So a few questions that have come through about your figures. One, that you don't create the appearance of eyes on the figures, and also that they seem to have red fingertips.
Right. Okay. Do you see my face? Audience can see my face? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so the face, it's a suggestions. You know, I don't want, that's more like, you know, culture, you know, my at least culture kind of things, you know, they you know, sometimes leave it, you know, like blank, and then you can just, you know, like enjoy what you know, state of the, you know, feeling emotions. Viewer can see my prints as laughing or, you know, crying, so kind of thing. So that's, you know, ambiguous. Here's the some related now. Do you see the picture?
Yes.
It's a no picture, okay? Means N-O-H. In Japanese, play. The actor wears these, and they act with this mask, laughing, crying, angry, sad, you know. So this face is this mask intention very neutral. So the actor can create, you know, their kind of like, you know, feeling, you know, by changing the mood. You know, I don't know how I can explain, but you know,
it's kind of like a blank canvas on the person.
You know, then you just create kind of stuff, you know. This one also, they are kind of play. Okay, so you add your face kind of stuff, you know, the fukuwarai, this kind of aspect. Donkey, maybe.
I don't know if that one's showing up.
Yeah, you see a little bit, the things, just put in the wall and, pin it and kind of stuff. So I have a part of the eyes kind of stuff. It's a kind of game, Anyway, so that's that one thing, okay? Fingertips. Because that's the most important part of the, in sense, body, You don't touch the things with this, you touch like this, So, that's, I just try to emphasize it. Also, the composition wise, when you have like fingers like this, my picture, if it's, straight, let's say, salmon pink or whatever, it doesn't give the, this dimensions, so by adding this tips red, so it separates, my hands, this portion and this portion. That kind of ideas, so 2 reasons. So that's my answer, I think.
Great. Thank you very much. We have a few questions about process. So there are some people on the call who are not artists.
Okay. I do my best to explain.
Yeah, that's okay. So some people are asking about how long a print might take. And then another question is about applying color. So we saw some of your process images, but are the colors applied separately, blended? Do you want to explain?
It has, each plate has a particular color. You saw the slides presentation. So I have a black plate, yellow plate, red plate, and the blue plate. That combine, that makes a lot of complex color, and the colors, I have to be careful about, inks are very transparent. So it's not opaque. So aspect is more like a painting, a watercolor, and then white is a paper's white. I don't have a white ink, such a things. Time, it's very slow process. Many people, who does it, or take class, they turned off, I don't like this process, because it's not forgiving. You making mark on that steel, metal, copper, zinc plate. Once you have a mark, not like, erasing the, like a charcoal on the paper. You have to live with these lines. And many people say, I don't like this, I made a wrong line. I etched it. I don't like this. Can I erase it? I have to say, no, you cannot do. You can scrape it, but it takes a long time, So that portion is, like they are, in sense, negative, but I like it in that aspect of how I can do this, with this limited, the restrictions. So always gives a challenge, and takes a long time. Yes, like one prints I make about takes months, but that's I enjoy. If you are rush, you don't want to do this process. Well, some do it, but I enjoy, how to make and test prints, make it more darker, make it more lighter kind of things. I do a lot of adjustment, and I just ponder sometimes. Takes like a few days to make a decisions kind of stuff. Sometimes quick. But that's also, I have a thinking, like always occupied, and I have a good time. Or, I don't know, challenge, So anyway, so that's kind of answers, yes.
So it was muted. Very good, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, let's see. One of our art history art professors pointed out that you have a lot of the art historical references in your works, and I know that you pointed a few out to us, like the hopper and so forth. Do you want to speak a bit more about the references or why you choose to include those?
Yeah, open to anything, even like, nowadays we don't do much because on digital, but, I just go through the other Vogue magazine or interview magazines, like, 80s, 70s. If I see something interesting, I just tear it and just save it kind of things. Also, that's more contemporary, but also, I like the Victorian garment, like mid, 19th century to early 20th centuries, that kind of outfit is pretty much, like I look up sometime. So that's also, like also there, I have here, I don't know, it says, I don't think screen sharing, like I can do it, all-time men and women beginners in full color kind of things. Dover magazine, picture book, sometimes comes a CD, but no one cares anymore, CD kind of stuff. But anyway, nowadays online, you can find, I don't think you can see well, but kind of things, here, shoes, hats, and fashion accessories, pictorial archive, Victorian area, or 1940s, so 100 years, like 1850s to 1940s. Anyway, so those are kind of like source of imaginations. Plus, I also like they are like a medieval woodcuts. Well, more they are sophisticated in the sense. Some are some are naive, but they are the Dürer or they I don't know, master of ES, whatever, those kind of like engravers, artwork. I don't, of course, copy, but I use my artwork versus the original, I get inspired and starting, I need something to start. I just go through that, thinking what happened today, and then, when you're starting some new ideas, and then hit that, I keep it, and then sometimes I pull from a drawer, okay, let's use that kind of things, so. Beside of that ukiyo-e prints for the Japanese, that's also heavily inspired. So I'll always keep in mind, and then whenever I have a time, I just see the ukiyo-e prints, and then they are kind of decorative aspect, very highly stylized, also very 2D. It's not with like like a shading on the face, dark to light. You see that behind it's the stylized, strawberries, yellow ones, and then it's very flat. Kind of ideas, my face is always kind of flat shade, and then a little bit the neck or, like a cheek has a, shades. So those are the things, ukiyo-e prints practice, they are, Japanese decorative aspect and then stylized aspects that got inspired also, Anyway, I don't know I answered or not, but that's.
Yes. Thank you so much. I personally appreciated your use of prints within the textiles inside the pieces.
Yeah,
it was really great.
Yeah, adding that, like because like many people asking why you do female, I don't say that female-ish, like body is very neutral, like there's no volume such as things like a Coca-Cola bottom, like, and I don't do that, But the female figure has a lot of like, fashion background, hats to shoes, I can just adding those kind of things. I'm having good time, like a cape or, like even gloves, anything, so that's kind of like, texture could go there kind of thing. So I don't have any naked much, body kind of stuff. I can do tattoo maybe, but, I'm not doing that intentionally. So that aspect, like I like really, like the design, like repetitive patterns, wallpaper. I look up those kind of stuff also, yes,
I'm also curious, we have a few questions about your life experiences, how those may have influenced your artwork. And one student, our graduate assistant, also brought up how your work relates to the human condition. Would you like to talk about that in the content of your work?
Well, like I said, my figures also, I don't know, I can answer properly about, it's not standing still like this, not like an ID picture, and it has some kind of like actions, most of pictures, gestures, hand gestures, like a heads, turning this way, that way. Sometimes two figures interacting, they are, if you see that, like a bigger prints, like a, multiple figures, stylized, but some maybe like I just leave like they are again interacting each other, fighting or talking or loving, whatever, So those kinds of things, they I just adding to my style, and then as I said, they what they wear also like it's my interest. Plus it's not just a figure, but it's comprehend everything in the background, how you relate kind of stuff, so I don't know, like, topic jumps, but, like recently more interesting, I emphasize the figure or the subject matter in color. And the left, I leave it more like, monochromatic, so that figure stands more dramatically, or so that kind of aspect I'm interested in. So I do recently in the last 3-4 years, I use the monochromatic versus the color kind of figure versus the I don't know negative space, a background we can say. So that's how I do the human conditions. Yeah, like I said, it's up to you guys. And I try to not also specify what the state of the this person. They are sad, angry, happy. It's up to you guys. Some people says, I like this, looks like my, sister. Yeah, that could be, and then someone says, this is my wife. Yeah, that could be kind of things, I don't do that, by the way, someone asking, is that your daughter or is that your wife? Say, maybe you can say, it looks like your wife, daughter. You can say, yeah, but, I was not doing that. I don't want to fight, but, deep in mind, I just have my dream kind of stylized face or figures. I do inspire, someone on the street in the hair. Oh, that hair is nice. I want to do that kind of stuff, But usually I don't specify, like a particular person. So. Mm-hmm.
That's great. I think it makes your characters more relatable to people by having it not be specific figures. So it looks like Kiana, one of our students likely, she's inspired by how you use your Japanese culture in a lot of the prints, but she's curious to know if there are other cultures that you have a particular, I guess.
As I said, like those Western cultures, also mixture, Western is kind of vast, big, so when I got the, connection to Russia, I just look up the Russian cultures or, Russian, visual stuff, so that's I just introduced. Some of the Asians, not much, but I'm interested in like a Korea or the China, or sometimes you see the Chinese dress or, Korean kind of like, hanfu, I don't know what you call, like a dress kind of stuff. So that's also, like occasionally, but most like, if you say, like my part of the, Asian means Japanese, but the rest of the culture is, like I say, contemporary also, what we are doing, like, sometimes I put like a cell phone, you saw that, kind of things. Also, they are not the culture, but maybe culture, like food also, they are, most of the things you saw Japanese food, but, I'm kind of obsessed, like those kind of, things we eat, the plants also, so those are the, more universal, but they are, digest, to my kind of style. So, flowers, I like it, sometimes birds, so those are the, I don't say this is the birds from the Northwest. No, I don't know anything about that. The plant from the East Coast, I don't know anything, just, brother, everything, I like this shape kind of things, but anyway, so again, I don't know, I exactly answer to the, pinpoint, but yeah, somewhat, I guess, that's my answer, Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good to know where you find the inspiration. So some of us would like to know what drew you to printmaking, and then if you ever dabble in other artistic media.
Well, it's hard to learn or hard to teach old dog a new trick kind of things, I don't want to close, like what I do, and then I'm not interested in, I'm always open, but, ending up, I don't want to do that kind of stuff. I just taste it, like, I got like a, Apple Pen or iPad and everyone doing that, Zoom time, can I submit in the digital image? All right. And they're doing, and they do much better than I do, of course, and I tried it, I don't like it. And then we have like I'm talking about technology particularly right now, like a laser engraver kind of stuff, I did some wood block image, laser, cutting the wood, that came nice, and then but it doesn't give me much kind of like impact. I'd rather stay my etching, and then also like I said, they are painting, drawing, or those occasionally I do, and then book arts also, but I never get bored doing my things. When I finish this project, I reflect what I did. And I have already next image, and the next image still color color printing. So, ongoing. So, not much time to do other things, so that's maybe I should take a class, and then do the assignment by the, today we do the encaustic painting. I got forced to do it. Maybe I make something, by, doing myself. How to change? I want, maybe I don't want it. I don't know.
Very good. Let's see. How is your artwork? How would you say it's evolved over the years, and are you happy with its current course?
Well, it's kind of like, like this. It doesn't go like this. It goes like that, like that, like that, like that. I did show you the very first prints I did in like 30, 40 years ago, and then still correspond to what I do. It's a color etching, but the content style figures, so certain things that change always, and then, never going back, but, certain things stay the same. The gallery, I'm the academic, but also I, dip my other hats, the, commercial, artist, I hear there are many, client galleries said, oh, Yuji, I like that print, you don't make it, kind of things, which means like 15 years ago I made it, and some people like that print, or the image, and I say, I don't want to offend, but I really like it that time, 15 years ago, that was the time I was so, that was the best, I'm having good time. But I have no reason to going back, maybe I'm wrong choice, they are, if we are client-based graphic designer or whatever, I listen to them and then I just work for them, make them happy. But, I follow my instinct, and what I'm doing is more comfortable, and I don't want to do the, like things I already did, and then, which was great, still great, probably, but I have a new interest, so that's how I don't know, evolve, stubborn. Maybe we can say however you say, but me as an artist, I like to make decisions, and I like to do whatever I wanted, and it could be going back to the old style, if I decide to do, if I see myself, oh, that's, I want to do it again, kind of stuff, but, like it's, I don't have any plan for that, like next year I want to do that style. No way, I make one, whatever I'm doing that, and I start reflect what I do, and then move to the next ones, so that's how I do it.
I love that you're very true to yourself and your own artistic style, and it sounds like you create from the heart, not necessarily what people ask to see.
Yeah. Okay. So that's I tell the student, they are, I never regret, by the way, like my son works for the, good job, nuclear business, and he's getting paid what I'm, already what I make now, but, and also he's happy because of his skill, probably, talent, but I tell the student, I have no regret, as I graduated, and then, they're, because mentally very healthy, they are, I don't want to get pressured from what I have to do. I don't want to do kind of stuff. I have to make this kind of like like a work, before the end of month kind of stuff. Yes, I make mistake. If we have a medical doctor, dentist, if we make mistake, you are out of business, but if I make mistake, I try to fix it, and I try to finish it kind of stuff, so even this pandemic, many people get, like mentally kind of pressured, and it is, I have, but they also, staying in the studio and doing my own things. I'm the boss, and I make what I want, and I don't make much money, but hey, I'm being happy, since I started doing this, so it's a little bit, challenge though, because the things doesn't work, like the printing, like frustrating, but always I have to think about, the how I can fix it. That challenge also, like rewarding also, so that's the, I'm happy. Well, I don't know.
Thank you.
And I have retirement, I keep doing this, till my body says, let's switch to the watercolor. Okay, but right now I still can make a print, Mm-hmm.
I think that's wonderful. I'm sure the students appreciate you imparting some words of wisdom there.
Yeah, follow your instinct and be healthy mentally, and then it is, you may have to engage, some people, I know that, some that UPS, delivery kind of stuff, and that he says, that's my mental, the health stuff, like the carrying the good stuff or good heavy stuff, but, let's, make art kind of stuff. If you can say that, then yeah, that's great, kind of stuff, Anyway, so, keeping this, it's wonderful things,
Thank you so much. It looks like we're just about at time, minute over perhaps, but we've really enjoyed having you with us.
Thanks for inviting me.
I want to remind the students that there will be a recording of this that we can share on our social media and the website. And also I put your Instagram handle in the chat so we can follow Yuji.
Okay.
Yep. Let's see. I can also, if I can figure out how to share my screen. Let's see. I have some information. So the galleries are currently open from Tuesday to Thursday. We have 2 exhibitions on view. So from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. or by appointment, you're welcome to come by the gallery space. We have Fertile Ground and The Weight of the Body on view, and the student show will be happening later this semester. I also have a link for you. Kristen, do you have that available? Could you drop that in the chat? We have other events for, let's see, the Asian Cultural Celebration. These are happening across campus. So you can find this information on Pioneer Life, but we'll also put this on our social media too. And I want to thank you for your time, Yuji.
Thank you so much
having you.
I really have a good time, and I hope we can meet in person. I don't know when, but yeah, when I go to New York and New Jersey, the East Coast. Hope so. I hope. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thanks everyone for attending.